Hey, have a look at this. It's a clip from the teaser for the upcoming season of the popular travel game show Jetlag the Game. Look at it again. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy that they put that in the trailer? Okay, I get it. You don't see the significance of what this entails. That's alright. Give me a couple of minutes and then you'll see why this one clip gets me so excited about this new season. You will be surprised of how momentous the ramifications for this little clip turned out to be. Although, if you've watched any of my videos on previous Jetlag season's trailers, you might not be so surprised. Along with my fellow Jetlag superfans over on the unofficial Jetlag fan Discord server, I have been thoroughly analyzing every trailer for their shows since Season 8. And stuff like what you'll see today has honestly become par for the course. With the help of everything from solar time analysis, train schedules, and of course, good old geolocation tools, we like to dig deep into the clips of the Jetlag teasers, mining them for every bit of information we can. And this season is special. It's an all-star season, meaning all the winners of previous seasons are here and duking it out against one another. Also, it's a return to the show's most popular game mode, Tag Across Europe, which gave us speculators an early advantage when figuring out this season's trailer compared to previous ones. A familiar rule set. For anyone here who hasn't watched a video of Jetlag playing tag, the rules are almost as simple as they sound. The teams take turns being the runner, with everyone else acting as chasers and trying to hunt them down and tag them. If the runners do get tagged, the roles switch and one of the chasing teams become the new runners. And this is where the biggest change to the rule set has happened. Because with a whole 6 players instead of 3, the chasers are now split into teams of 2, and whoever tags the runners first become the new runners. It's a free-for-all now. We are no longer taking turns. But the season isn't just special because of the record number of players or the glorious return of the show's most popular format. No, the teasers for the season also provide us with a couple of challenges we haven't seen before. For one, the teaser at the end of last season featured a lot of clips that were masked by letters, obscuring most of the frame and breaking up the patterns we might be able to search for. The new changes also means that teaser clips are now spread between 3 different teams, all moving independently from each other's. There is more movement happening, but comparatively fewer clips per team than usual. The yellow team, Sam and Toby, wear the same outfits in all of theirs. These are the clothes worn at the start of the game, meaning they effectively vanish from the teasers after day 1 of the game. Read into that what you will. And, not to get too spoilery already, but the teasers also hint at some uniquely exciting moments, strategies, and locations that we have not seen before yet on the show. Now is probably a good time to do a quick spoiler warning. Not to toot my own horn, but if you haven't watched one of these trailer analysis videos before, you will probably be surprised at just how much we have been able to figure out. I will be going through the different clips and theories in what we believe to be chronological order, so feel free to bail out at any time. And as always, please treat these theories as spoilers and don't share them with unwitting third parties, such as in the Jetlag comments. Thank you. With that out of the way, let's begin at the beginning, which is, of course, at... The game starts, like the first and second season of Tag, in the town square of Charleville-Mézières in northern France. We've known this since June 10th when the season started recording, since Sam of the yellow team posted this selfie from the starting location on social media, as he often does at the start of seasons. The trailer clearly shows us that Sam and Toby are the first runners, and we also have a whole host of clips that appear to show what they get up to during this first run. So let's have a look. These clips are of Sam and Toby running to the train station in Charleville-Mézières. As the runners, they are trying to get to their end destination on the island of Jersey in the English Channel, which would see them going west through France. If they can make it all the way there without getting tagged, they instantly win the whole season. In the next clip we have of them, the pair has caught a westbound train and are in Reims. We can tell that it's exactly 7:15 in the morning because Sam is standing next to a clock. The timing and location is perfect for this to be in the morning of day 1, and this is made even more likely by the fact that Sam is wearing the same exact outfit from the initial clips in Charleville. Although in every single other clip we have of Sam and Toby, they are wearing those same sets of clothes. And with the exception of one clip we'll get to later, they're also in the exact same town in all of those clips. That town is Laon, right here, really not very far from the starting point in Charleville-Mézières. It's an old town with a medieval city center situated on an elevated natural plateau. It has this massive cathedral on top that we also see in some of the clips. The locations from all of these clips are from Laon, and what's even more interesting, they seem to span a good chunk of the game day. In this clip from closer to the station at the bottom of the hill, the azimuth of the sun indicates that it's a little past 9 a.m. at the latest. Meanwhile, in this clip from the cathedral all the way up the hill, it looks like it's about 10:45 a.m. And in this clip from back at the station, the fact that this wall isn't getting the same stark sunlight as the grass points to this being at least 1:45 in the afternoon. And yes, that is Brian from the red team in that last clip. We will return to that later. This move of going somewhere unintuitive and then not moving for a while isn't completely unheard of, especially not for Sam, who did the same thing in previous tag seasons. The next train connections to Laon from Charleville-Mézières aren't for another couple of hours. This gives the runners ample time for doing challenges to collect coins, the in-game currency that the runners need to pay for travel to reach their end destination. So it's not unlikely that the team has purposefully isolated themselves in Laon to spend time farming coins for later in the game. In any case, they now have the opportunity to do that. What is weird about this long stay in Laon is that they're able to stay there for as long as they do without getting tagged by the chasers. Because let's have a look at what the other two teams are doing. There is also a wealth of clips showing the two chaser teams wearing their day one outfits, including a frankly infuriating amount of clips of Ben and Brian vaguely hinting at exciting things that are happening, while showing almost no location-specific information in the background, except trains. But we do have this clip of them applying sunscreen, which was recorded in Reims at approximately 8 a.m., followed by this clip of them walking down a very nondescript train station platform. You would be forgiven for declaring this one unfindable, since there is seemingly only this vague hint at a structure in the background above the train. But the user Another Doofus on the Jetlag Discord pulled together some compelling evidence, placing this clip at the Gare du Nord station in Paris. The structure in the background is this newly renovated wing of the building. And furthermore, looking through the train windows to the other side of the train, we can see this chain link fence. We can even match up the surface of the platform from the reflection in the window. Also, notably, in the reflection of the train window is Adam and Michelle from the green team. So both teams went to Paris, where they could effectively be ahead of Sam and Toby on their way to Jersey. By doing some more solar time analysis, we can place this shot at sometime between 10 a.m. and 12 noon. The chasers seem to be headed to a northbound train. Could be towards Laon, but even then, there would have been quicker ways they could have gotten there. Well, as we have already discussed, we see the red chaser team in Laon sometime after 1:45 p.m. By the time they make it there, the runners must have left, because Brian doesn't seem like their situation is particularly urgent at this moment. Meanwhile, Adam and Michelle on the green team seem like they stay in Paris for a little longer. This clip of them is seemingly from around 1 p.m. and they're still just outside Gare du Nord. Sam and Toby, however, are done standing still. The very last clip of them in the teasers that we have yet to discuss is this. A couple of things to talk about with this one. First of all, this building right here is the town hall of Poinet, a small town outside of the city of Reims. This is a weird place for Sam and Toby to have gone. It's basically in the exact opposite direction than where they want to go, and it's such a small station to get off at. There are no useful transfers from here. Now, at this point, I should probably acknowledge that it's taken me a while to get this video out, and by the time that I was writing this script, I already knew exactly why Sam and Toby went to Pernay. But back when the trailer dropped, we had a theory going around on the Discord that is simply too fun to not mention here, even if it turned out to be wrong. So to explain the reason we thought Sam and Toby went to Pune, here is me summarizing it live on my YouTube channel less than an hour before the trailer dropped. Such a nowhere location for Sam and Toby to go. Surely they must have gone here in order to catch a plane. If Sam and Toby collect enough coins in the hours that they do spend in Laon and Pune, then they could potentially, with 5,000, 6,000 coins, they could potentially charter their way onto a plane direct from Reims, basically at the beginning of the game, all the way to Jersey where they want to go. I know this seems like a crazy convoluted plan to try and pull off, but hey, it's only a theory. And also, if anyone was going to play chess in 4D like this, you would expect it to be Toby, right? Now, the other thing to notice about this clip, the major elephant in the room, is that Sam and Toby aren't the ones holding the camera. Yeah, it looks like this is where they get tagged, and they showed us all right here in the teaser. And is it just me, or is this camera moving at an incredible speed? Yes, the theory on the speculation channel is that Adam and Michelle, the green team, are the ones to tag Sam and Toby in Punet. According to The Sun, it looks like this happens at approximately 3:30 to 4:30 in the afternoon. I just want to mention that it's been most of day 1 here and the game has barely left the starting town. That is about to change. The reasoning behind the theory that Adam and Michelle are the ones to tag Sam and Toby in Punet is that we have one more clip of them wearing their day 1 outfits. And they seem to be doing a challenge for coins. That is runner behavior. This clip was recorded back in sometime around 5:30 p.m., presumably on their way to Champagne-Ardenne station, the rail hub on the southern edge of town. What do we want to bet that they stop for a vending machine pizza to go? Now, there is one last clip from day 1, and it is this one.
And this is allowed? It's never been done, but it is allowed.
This line might have been picked for the teasers exactly because of its vagueness, but we on the Jetlag Discord have a pretty good idea what it's about. But really, to discuss it, it is easier that we just get straight to day number 2. The first clip from day 2 is this one of the green team in Strasbourg, the French city right up against the France-Germany border. Shout out to Zuzka on the Jetlag Discord server, by the way, for finding this location back in July when we had very little context to guide us. From the lighting in the clip, we can place this at around 7 in the morning, meaning Adam and Michelle seem to have made a train here at the end of day 1. This is also the last clip we have of Adam and Michelle. Yes, that's right. All the rest of the clips we're going to discuss in this video are of Ben and Brian, or we couldn't figure out which team recorded them. But I mean, you can look at the runtime of the video, we are nowhere near done yet. The two of them, Adam and Michelle, are headed south towards Zermatt in Switzerland, where their end destination is located. And they have managed to, at least temporarily, break away from the two chaser teams. If we assume Adam and Michelle go as fast as they can from here, it might be tough to catch up. They could be in Zermatt as soon as 11:17 a.m. that same day if everything goes perfectly. Sam and Toby could maybe hope to go through Zurich to catch them in Visp, very far south, but we can't really know what they actually end up doing because remember, there are no more clips of those two for the rest of the game. Ben and Brian on the red team, we do know the route they decide to take. And it is indeed something that is allowed in tag, but has never been done before. The clip that reveals their plan is this one of Brian running through what turns out to be an airport terminal, specifically Terminal A in Zurich Airport. With Ben and Brian potentially ending their day 1 around Paris and with Adam and Michelle well on their way to Switzerland, the situation is perfect for making flight a viable option. That is, if there happens to be a departure at the exact right time. The thing is, there are 2 flights from Paris to Zurich at the beginning of day 2. One gets in considerably earlier than the other, but it also departs from Charles de Gaulle Airport at 6:45 in the morning. That is 45 minutes after the game day starts, leaving Ben and Brian with realistically less than 30 minutes to get through security and board the plane before the cutoff. It seems super unlikely that they can make this flight, especially considering the reputation of the Charles de Gaulle Airport, with their excruciating wait times and confusing layout. Their other flight option out of Paris they could definitely make, but it would get them into Zurich Airport at around 10:30 in the morning. That is about 2 hours later than the first flight. Looking at the clip from Zurich Airport, we found it impossible to confidently say whether this was recorded at 8:30 or 10:30. In any case, the trailer gives us one more clip of Ben and Brian as chasers, namely this one. Ben and Brian have made it to Visp station, deep in the Alps. This is the one bottleneck station that all routes to Zermatt must pass through. Adam and Michelle will have to come here on their way to their end destination. It is also really close to their end destination. If they aren't caught here, things are looking grim for the other teams. So the question is, did Ben and Brian get here first? Well, the exact timestamp of this clip would have been apparent on the departure board behind them, but the screen has been deliberately blurred in post-production. Cute. Real cute. Nice try, Jack. If you look in the very corner of the screen, in the last handful of frames, what's that? It's a clock reading 10:30 a.m. This was a pretty huge discovery when it was made by another doofus the other week. It means that Ben and Brian did in fact manage to get on that early morning flight to Zurich earlier. Can't wait to see how they did that. Furthermore, knowing this, it now looks like almost certainly Ben and Brian will make it to FISP before Adam and Michelle do. After all, Adam and Michelle would have had to be moving pretty much non-stop since leaving Strasbourg in the morning, and somehow collecting the coins they needed along the way too. So it would seem like we can expect for a tag to happen in FISP around the middle of day 2. That is, had it not been for one perplexing spanner in the works. This is where that clip from my intro comes in. This short clip out the window of a train car has been the key data point around which most of our discussions and theorizing have been centered in these past months. The waterfall in the clip is located here, just south of FISP, on the rail line towards Zermatt. Well, crap. If we're seeing someone traveling south towards Zermatt, then apparently Adam and Michelle did not get tagged in FISP, and now they're almost at their end destination. I see two possibilities here. Either they left Strasbourg at 6:21 that morning and just beelined it all the way to Zermatt before anyone could get in their way, or they managed to somehow outmaneuver Ben and Brian, and maybe Sam and Toby in FISP, and get on their train anyways. But let's forget about what happened in FISP. The real interesting part is what happens next. The thing is, we actually know for certain that the game continued after this Swiss debacle. There are a handful of clips that we haven't gotten to yet, including this clip of a team traveling north through Schaffhausen, effectively leaving Switzerland north into Germany. That is north, the opposite direction of where the game has been moving so far. So let's walk through the possibilities we have in front of us. Were Adam and Michelle tagged in FISP? Well, no, because then why would any team be traveling further south past this waterfall? Now, were Adam and Michelle tagged on the train to Zermatt after sneaking their way onto it in FISP? Well, this waterfall is pretty far down the rail line. I personally don't believe it would take the chasers too long to find them aboard this small train, and so all of the players involved would probably be getting off of the train at one of the stops before the waterfall. So let's assume Adam and Michelle managed to get to FISP before Ben and Brian and safely get on a train to Zermatt. In this case, there is still one last hurdle to clear before the game is won, because the green team's end destination isn't actually within the town of Zermatt. It's at the Gornergrat Observatory at the end of a cograil line up the mountainside. So there is a slim chance that the green team gets stuck in Zermatt for a moment because they lack the about 300 coins they would need to travel that one final stretch. And if they really are on that train to Zermatt before Ben and Brian, this is what all the chasers now have to hope: that Adam and Michelle run out of coins right before the finish line. And even then, they might have time to earn those last few coins before Brian and Ben can catch up. I have to admit, the chances of them getting caught right on the finish line like this seem infinitesimal. Although it would be very funny for Adam to almost make it to his end destination for a second time, only to then get caught in the final moment. So the chances of them getting caught are low, but what other options do we have? Since, as I mentioned, we have more clips that show that the game did continue after Zermatt. Well, there is the possibility that Adam and Michelle simply win the season right then and there. It's always been a possibility in all of the tag games, a team just winning halfway through the game and before Ben and Brian even get to have a run. If that happens, and I think it's a real possibility, then they could simply decide to just keep playing for second place.
I'm sure you've answered this question before, but like, what is the contingency if if like the first run just wins right away?
Well, you know, if somebody wins like midday day 2 or end of day 2, it's like, well, I think that's the game, and maybe we do, you know, a little special at the end.
That is the season, yeah. And I think the most logical thing at that point is likely to play for seconds and then just post that to Nebula, since it's kind of a smaller appeal. That is genuinely kind of a risk we take with these seasons, and it hasn't happened yet. But like, if we keep doing this every summer, it'll probably happen eventually.
I truly do not know what to believe here. And this time, there are no convenient clips from the trailer that will come and save me. Please tell me in the comments if you can think of a third option that somehow explains that clip with the waterfall. Because, I don't know, I just can't wait to see how this shakes out. For now, whatever happened, let's just see if we can decipher what happened next. Yes, that's right, you didn't miss anything. Even though, as I said, the showdown in the Swiss Alps would have taken place around noon on day 2, the middle of the game day, I don't really have any idea what happened in the remaining 6 hours of it. It's sort of reminiscent of the trailer for the second tag season where, spoiler alert, Adam almost got to his end destination on day 2. Even though the game continued afterwards, the trailer made sure to only use clips from before that point to make it seem to viewers like he really might have ended the game by reaching his end destination. Anyways, we have no more clips from day 2, so let's jump straight to day 3, the final day. Because, interestingly, we do have a couple of clips from that day. Starting with this one. This was recorded early in the morning, and in the background we see the main station of Zurich. Ben is wearing a green shirt here, which is different from his day 1 and day 2 outfits, and so it looks like he and Brian start their day 3 in Zurich. This is a little weird since they could have traveled much further in the approximately 6 hours since they would have tagged Adam and Michelle in Zermatt. Perhaps a couple of tags happened in quick succession and that slowed things down, but we can't really know. Perhaps if Adam and Michelle really won in Zermatt, all 6 players just spent some time reconvening there before continuing to play for silver. Anyways, we have a couple of clips from around northern Switzerland. This one from the rail line between Zurich and Basel around 7 a.m. This aforementioned one traveling north out of Switzerland through Schaffhausen at like 7:30 a.m. And this one from the line between Bern and Visp at around 11:15 a.m. Actually, that one's probably from day 2. So yeah, not a lot to work with in terms of day 3, I'm afraid. It'll be tough putting together a compelling theory with this few data points. Not that plenty of people in the Discord haven't tried. Shout out to Blizzard Mist and Sea Owl, among others. But respectfully, I am going to gently skip ahead again to about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, because that's about when this clip here seems to have been recorded.
Brian, are you ready to kill Sam once and for all?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
A couple of things to note about this clip. It appears to be day 3, Ben is wearing that same green shirt, and then Brian appears to be holding a melon. About to go bowling? Whatever they're doing, I think we can conclude that this is a challenge card, which means they are the runners. This is super cool. For context, this clip is from the German city of Kassel, which is well within Ben and Brian's win area. If this final game day ends while the runners are within this third of the game map, that means Ben and Brian will be the winners of the game. And even if they get tagged, the new runners will still have to get to their own win area in order to change the outcome. The great question is whether that is possible at this late point in the game. And it's a very pertinent question because here is the final clip from the teasers. This one also takes place in Kassel, and it appears to show Ben and Brian with a third person running after them holding the camera. Forgive me if I'm just being unimaginative here, but the only way I can think of to explain that is that they're about to get tagged by someone. Let's say Ben and Brian get tagged here in Kassel by Sam and Toby. Could Sam and Toby get to their win area? As a Sam and Toby supporter, it hurts to be saying this, but it is just not happening. At this late point in the afternoon, their game is over. Adam and Michelle, on the other hand, if they make this tag, then there are ways they could get back to their win area in time. It seems like a slim chance, but it is not outside the realm of possibility, and it wouldn't be the first time we've been surprised about these teams' speed while analyzing this trailer. It wouldn't be the second time either. And that is unfortunately all we can say. So let's summarize. This is a complicated one. 2 different win conditions could mean very different outcomes if met. Sam and Toby are cooked. I hate to say it, but the yellow team is cooked, as the kids say. If the game lasts until the third and final day, then Ben and Brian from red team seem to end their last run in a pretty strong position. But, of course, there is a big if, because what if the game doesn't last until that third day? It's such a weird form of Schrödinger's game of tag where everything past the middle of day number 2 could be part of the game, or it could be in this other state where the game proper has ended and now they're playing for second place. It's a real possibility, and if that is the case, then Adam and Michelle are the clear winners, making it to their end destination only halfway through the game. Anyways, I know I'm always like this at the end of these videos, but because of this weird nebulous superposition of the game, and because of how little concrete evidence we have about day 2 and 3, I really don't feel comfortable making a call here. And I can't just default to my standard cop-out answer of just rooting for my favorite team. Sam and Toby are like the one team that are definitively out of this game. So make what you will with this information. Feel free to comment about how you think the game will pan out. We will all see in due time. So right now we have a couple of questions that we don't have answers to. First of all, is there a day 4? And there really might be. All the other tags have been 3 days, but this might be 4 days. Also because, and this is compelling evidence, Sam and Michelle both posted Strava runs in Paris on the 14th of June. The game started on the 10th of June. So if they are in Paris on the 14th, either the game lasted for 4 days and then they went to Paris, or the game lasted 3 days, then they went to Paris, and then they stayed in Paris for another night and then only went home the next day. Right? Like there's an extra day there where they could be playing the game. So they might be playing the game. I'm kind of in the there is a day 4 camp, in which case it could go any direction after Zermatt. This video would not have been possible without all of the people who joined me in the Fan Jetlag Discord server this time. It is always so cool to be part of this collective analysis effort with so many others. Thanks to everyone who joined me for that trailer analysis live stream. I'm very happy with how that turned out. If you want to watch that back, there is a link in the description along with all the usual stuff, our notes and maps of all the locations from the teasers. The next season has already been announced and recorded, and it's going to take place in the UK. So that's very exciting. If you want to join me and the others for analysis when teasers for that start coming out, there is a link in the description to the unofficial Jetlag Fan Discord server as well. You'll want to go to the roles tab at the top of the channel menu where you can get the speculator roles that'll gain you access to the spoiler-filled speculation channels where we discuss the teasers. Please keep potential spoilers within these channels. Thank you. In a moment, you will see the names of my lovely channel members on the screen as the video ends. If you are at all interested in supporting me doing videos like this, consider pressing the join button below this video to see a video of me explaining what this is all about. On top of getting your name at the end of the video, perks include stuff like getting to see videos 5 days early, as well as a couple of exclusive videos I have discussing my trailer analyses in retrospect. Check it out if you're interested. With that said, I think we can declare this trailer analyzed. Thanks for watching, thanks to my members for supporting me, and thanks to the Jetlag crew for creating another exciting season of Jetlag the Game. Have a nice day, and bye-bye.
Is this the way it ends now? How could I not see this coming? My camera's cloudy lens now takes much darker pictures than